and forth, kind of a rapid fire round between me and Bianca, trying to introduce you to everyone here in this beautiful space. So with that, I just want to first start off with my first question.
Go slowly, right?
Oh yeah, I have to go slowly because I'll be just thinking. I mean, she speaks English, she understands English, but you know, some of us with our American accents, every once in a while, we mumble our words if we're not mumble rapping, which is a new mumble rap set.
Yeah.
Anyways, bad joke, but yeah. So I'll be translating if there's any issues with the language. So first question that I have in just seeing all this work, Nicholle, you've been going all over the U.S. Exhibiting your work, and you're actually meeting people who've been supporting you instead of just likes. You're seeing people. So what's the reaction you're getting on the East Coast? We haven't gone to we haven't gone to the West Coast yet, but you've gone north and south. So you've gotten to see a lot of your supporters, black women, in different cities from Toronto to Houston. What's the reaction you're getting?
From them.
From them. And
thank you so much first for coming and for your support and for your love. And if you don't understand, just let me know. I will do my best to speak English. So the reaction I have actually is amazing because I didn't expect that. I just do it because I decided to do this tour because I receive so many messages, so many support, and I definitely want to meet all these person who send me messages and was supporting me. Even so, I'm not from the US, and I decided to come also to meet them and to say thank you. And the reaction is just positive. I can say that I received a bad reception. The reception was so good, and that's why I want to say thank you to you again.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I just wanted to follow up real quick, and while I do that, I'll give you the mic. Bianca and I will be passing off the back and forth the mic. On that note, how do you compared to all the cities? What are you feeling with the Chicago love here that you're getting? You're getting a lot of love in Chicago.
Of course.
Compared to
look at them. Thank you so much. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So with Chicago, do you find anything different from or?
For me, all of this, even here in Chicago, it's just about love, about black women love. Even so, we're from different parts of the world. It's just about love, and I also feel it here in Chicago.
I feel like you belong here.
Yeah, I love it. I love Chicago. It's so different from the other cities. Yeah, I love you too. From the other cities. Yeah, and it's only about black sisterhood and black love. Yeah.
So when I first saw your art, I loved it instantly because it was so relatable, and I feel like all of the women who are in this room right now feel the same way, that they see us, they see our sisters, our friends in your work. So I would love to know, when you start an illustration, what's your story? Who inspires you to create your images?
Okay, my history is actually I always do drawing. When I was a kid, I was drawing, and when I was studying, in France, it's not like in the US. The teacher, we don't have black community in France. We have just one community, is the national community, and we don't actually, they say we don't see your color. So, but when you are a black studies and you want to do something for black people, you receive any support from no one. And actually, my teacher always told me you have to stop to do this because you will never be successful. No one wants to see that. And I decided when I was a student to stop drawing and working to corporate in bank, like for 8 years, but I wasn't absolutely not happy. And I was like working there in a bank, but I was drawing on all the contracts. So I realized that I wasn't absolutely not happy there. And I decided I was pregnant. After 8 years, I was pregnant. In France, when you are pregnant, you can stay at home. You can stay at home and you are paid. So I was like, okay, I'm tired, I would stay at home. And I stay at home and I was like, you will stay like 1 year at home, what will you do? I decided to draw again because I decided to do something who makes me happy. I was pregnant. I want only happiness around me. So I decided to drawing, and then I post my drawing. I was like, okay, you are drawing like 5 or 4 illustrations a day. What will I do with all this illustration? And I decided to put this on Instagram. And when I post my first illustration of a black woman, you know, I received so many messages, so many likes, and I was like the first message I received, it was like amazing, and I didn't know what amazing mean. I was like, what does mean? You know, yeah, exactly. Google Translate, like dope, and I was like, okay, well, I was so afraid. I was so afraid to receive bad comments because my teacher always told me nobody will like your artwork, and I decided to take also a nickname because I don't want people to know that it was Nicholle Kobi who was doing that. That if you follow me, you know my first name was Nikki's Groove. And then I decided to take this nickname. I want like to do my artwork and not heard what people would say about my artwork. And then every time I was posting, I was receiving more likes every time. So I decided to continue like that. And who inspired me actually is all these black women here. I can just drawing you and drawing like her hair and her coat. You know, I can't. I'm inspired by black women of every day from everywhere. And when I walk in the street, I watch people like that because I love blackface. I love everything about us. So actually, when I see something, I'm just like, I have to do this.
Yeah. Wow. And so on that note, so when you have these different pieces that we're seeing here, I can't help but to see that there's like I feel like they speak to me, and me as a black man or as an art appreciator. I feel like each one of them has a message. So what do your art pieces have a message? Are you saying something when you depict them, or are you just being a documentarian or just?
I think as an artist, I can just do beautiful things. We have to how to say, comment tu dis refléter? Reflect our society. When you think something is good or something is bad, you know, we know in being black in Western countries is not easy at all. And actually, I am very inspiring by everything that happened in media. By example, with Colleen Kaepernick. Yeah, I think I absolutely need to do something. When I see something like that, I think I have to support him. When they kill black kids, I have to do something for that. And yes, of course, I think even so you draw beautiful things, you can't just be an artist and doing beautiful things. You have to fight for, using your heart to fight for against les choses injustes. Injustice. And actually for me being black is what the message for me is supporting black people and in everyday fighting. Yeah.
And I heard you say black love, so is it kind of, because sometimes black love, I know you said in France it can be controversial, because, so give you a little background, in America we're allowed to do polls or demographics saying, hey, this part of the county or community is 40% black, 30% Hispanic. In America, we're allowed to. In France, it's not at all allowed to be able to do any distinguishing among race. They say we have to be one, and you know. So for her to just draw as black in France, it's almost seen as racist.
Yeah,
so that black love message here, you're getting a great welcome, but in France, that message, how did that resonate?
Just as you say, drawing only black people, it's something seen like being racist. So in France, most of black people think I'm racist because I just want to show that we can draw black love, you know, because I have some friends who they are artists also, and they draw, of course, white people, white love and everything. No one complain about that. But when I decide to do also black families, black women, black love, people just come to me and say, this is bad, why are you doing this? And I'm just like, why are you coming for me? Because I don't understand, because love is not only in white, you can be black and love a black man, but this is a problem in France actually. All black person, most of black French person think to be in love, you must be with a white person. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you see everybody going with white person, you're just asking yourself, what's happening in my community? Why you can't love a black man? Why black men can love black women? And this is a big problem in France. They just build the country to make us think like being black is bad, being in black love is bad, having black kids is bad. So so when black people come to me also and say, why are you drawing black person? I'm just like, I can understand. Why did you never do this? No,
did you ever
say that to the black artist, the white artists who also do the same thing for white person. So this is so controversial in France, but I don't care, you know. I just want to do what I love, you know, what I think is just, what I think is normal for me, and what I think is good for my community and for my kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that you started to touch on being black in France, because as a room full of assumedly mostly Americans, we probably don't know what that's like. But what do? You're saying there's not really a black community in France because of how they dictate everything.
Yeah.
So what do you do, whether it's through your art or just personally, what do you do when you kind of need to be around your tribe, your people? Like, what do you do when you kind of need to have that safe space?
What do I do to do that?
Qu'est-ce que tu fais pour être à l'aise entre tes peuples, entre tes gens? Comme en France, on vous laisse pas.
The thing is, actually, I do also an exhibition in Paris, and I was so surprised to see all these black women coming. Because they just, you know, they support me, but not like you in front of everybody. They support me, they send me like secret message and say, we love you, don't tell to anyone, but we love you. And I was so surprised, and they said, please continue to do that, and talking about being black in France is very important. And I was surprised to hear that about them. It's like, I understand that even so no one talk about this. We need to talk about this. It's also important for few person there, and if there are only one person who said this to me, I think it's important to continue to do that, and even so in France and in Europe, not only in the US, but actually, the thing is, you have to know something. For the black European, you African American, you are like the light. We watch everything you are doing. When you do good, we do good. When you do bad, we do bad. And actually, when every movie we watch in France, we don't have black movies, you know, black French movies. This is it not exist, but we watch African American movies. We love African American music, and so we watch everything who happen in the U.S. and European are also inspired by you. So the thing is. We definitely love everything about you, and we need you to do good. I don't know if everything is not perfect, but when you do good, we do also good.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a good note. We're already talking about the audience, the leaders of the black community globally. They're here in this room. So if anybody might have a question, I'll start it off. Are there any members of the press first? I'll give you a quick, no? Okay. So anybody have a question for Nicholle? Okay, well, while people were, go ahead.
Yeah, you said that you drew when you were younger. How has like your art changed? Would you say like, I mean, how was it then and now? I know it was really young when you did it, but do you see any like, similarities or major differences?
So I'm gonna repeat the question for the mic. So she asked, you drew when you were younger.
Yeah.
How has your art changed up until now? Do you see any similarities or any differences? Est-ce que c'est la même chose quand tu étais jeune?
Yeah, when I was a kid, actually when I say I was drawing, my mother had the only black magazine when I was a kid, and I was drawing on the magazine. I was changing black women's face. Or in a white magazine, I was changing everything. This is how I start. So so actually I think as an artist, your style had to evolve. And actually, yes, I think it's involved because I hate to feel boring, and sometimes I'm just like, I'm tired to do this, and I make research, and I want to change, and yes, of course, my style effectively growing.
Yeah.
Effectively, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and that's interesting because there are going to be a set of new inspirations and drawings coming for the new year. I think we're waiting for some, and I've already heard and seen some of those, so they're exciting, and you're always evolving, always pushing the envelope, which is great. Are there any other questions? Okay.
How do you handle copyright infringement? Because I remember some years ago, I think when you were circled by Nikki's group, a lot of people are like copying down your work. And kind of, you're not getting the credit for it. So how do you handle that?
Comment je supporte ça? Je fais pour le copyright.
Ouais, parce que les gens te volaient tes trucs.
Yeah, I can éviter, comment tu dis?
I can't avoid. Yeah.
Avoid? Yeah, I can. But the thing is, we are working with my team to do something, not injustice, but to be, comment tu dis, quelque chose de something.
Cadré ou structuré?
Yeah. You know, I can. People always copy what you are doing, but the thing is, you can copy, but do not just delete my name and put your name on it. I see a lot of person who take my image and make T-shirt and make. But the thing is, this is a game also, you know, and I have to support that. But we thank God I have some lawyer who work for me. Lawyer. Sorry. Who work for me, and we try to do our best to make people understand that. Of course, my artwork, you can share my artwork, but give me the credit, but you can sell it, because the first time I saw that, I was so affected by that, and I was sad and I was fighting, but actually I'm just like, this is maybe the game, but I also have like attorneys behind me and try to do the work and to make people understand that they can just take someone's artwork and do whatever they want. And yeah, this is a game.
Do you have a follow-up or any other questions?
I would say you were teasing that you have some new images coming for the new year. What's inspiring you lately? What can we expect from you in 2018?
Actually, a lot of black men. More black men. Black men, because this is also the same thing like for black women. When you make research about black men, illustration of art, it's always like ghetto. And I have nothing against ghetto things, but you know, we have so many brothers, husbands, and kids who just don't need to, who are not like that, you know, and they work hard, they are good men, you know, so I think we need also good image of black men, because you can see how they are treated by the social media, the media, and all these things, and I think we need positive image of black men also. Yeah, so I'm working on it. Yeah.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Do you think that with your new line, it will help to dispel the fear that others have of black men when you release your new art line?
Oh, I hope. I really hope. They need it also. I think they need also to see themselves differently, you know, not only like they always draw them, they always show them. And yes, definitely, I think that, yeah, of course, you know, it starts always with kids. When kids will see that, they will say, oh, I can be that. I have a lot of choice. I have just not one choice, you know. So yeah, definitely everything is first for kids and also for adults then.
Wow. Yeah. You know, it's funny, in DC, we got an interesting commentary saying in all of these images, yes, you know, it's great to see we see the black woman in so many different images, but in this one, we don't see any pain, which is finally welcome, because the black woman is always depicted in either struggling or, you know, in her strength, she's always strong, she's great. They're angry, you know, but there's no pain in here. There's, you know, is that intentional or how is?
Yeah, because I think we are just like everybody. We have our pain, but not more pain than the other one. And when we are together, we can show so much love, and we are so much loving to our. We are supporting to our community. Black women support so much the community, the families. So I think I need to show also the good. Our positivity, you know, because we are so much positive. I think for me, black women is the image of positivity. Is the image of happiness. Black women is they support so much. So, but we are so positive, yeah, definitely. So that's why I just want to go like that, you know, put the pen on the side and just showing the positivity of Black women. Wow. Because I'm sure we all have our struggle, but we have the strength to continue, even so. And I think Black women support so much. Yeah.
And okay, before I close it off with asking you to give a last message to Chicago, I like to do this. If anyone has a picture that you would like, because it's rare that you get Nicholle here, that you would like to get in her mind, see what inspired you when you drew this picture. What was this picture about? Where were you? You know, what were you thinking? You'll feel free to raise your hand and we'll ask her to comment on the picture. But before I do that, no, you don't want to ask a mother to choose between which of its children is the best. But I'll say this: coming to Chicago, did any one of the pictures or series of pictures really stick out to you coming to Chicago that say, I really need to show this picture in Chicago, or this or that picture in Chicago?
For me, the most important and the most central illustration is always the group of Black women, and definitely this one in black and red, because this image represents just what I want to show for my people who love my artwork. It's just supporting in the black community, and we are beautiful. No matter our shade, our shape, we are beautiful, and we are sister. We are Black women, and we all have the same struggle, and we have to be like that, more supportive. And this image definitely, all the love I have for Black women, I put this in this image. Yeah.
Wow. So Chicago, that one's for you.
Yeah.
It's the biggest one we have here, actually, too. Anybody have a particular image you want her to comment on? Any questions? Bianca, you want to ask the closing question, and then we'll ask her to give a closing message?
I would say a very simple question, because obviously we're celebrating Blackness, we're celebrating womanhood, we're celebrating sisterhood. What's your favorite thing about being a Black woman?
It's that I know that I am powerful. I'm beautiful, and I'm strong. Yeah, this is
Simple.
Simple.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how you follow.
I have yeah.
And okay, and then what is your message to Chicago? What do you want Chicago? What do you want to leave Chicago with? Hey, Nicholle was here. What did Nicholle share with us? What did Nicholle leave us?
I love Chicago first. I know I say this all the time, but I definitely love, maybe it's you who make me love your city. The message for Chicago is thank you very much for your support, and just be supportive to other Black women, and we all the world, as I say, all as an European, Black European, just as I say, we all watching you. When you do good, we do good, and please continue to do good for us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So, wait, we have one question? Okay.
No, I just was wondering if Bianca could speak a little bit about what circus is.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess I'll hold it.
Yeah.
Well, it's covered right now, but I originally run a magazine. They're hiding behind here. Yes. Circus Magazine. So we were digital first. I actually started when I was still in college. I was 19. And then we released our first print issue last year. Working on the second, which will be hopefully coming out next month. But this space is the working studio for the magazine. I always struggled finding a space to do photo shoots, having places for all my creative friends who could do photo shoots, work on projects, do interviews, or just to have a meeting spot to come together and collaborate. So I was having an existential crisis last year, and I basically decided, okay, I love doing the magazine, I love producing content, I love talking to artists and creatives all the time. How can I take this to the next level? How can I continue to do this? So basically, I just had the idea to have a studio, and so somewhere where we could have events and have gallery shows and have curations and celebrate POC artists and women artists and queer artists and everyone in between. So basically, between when I had the idea and opening the studio was kind of a process of like 6 months. I was able to open it with a very gracious personal loan from a friend. And yeah, we opened this summer, and it's been this every weekend. It's, you know, just having a space to celebrate art, work on the magazine, continue to promote artists in Chicago.
Yeah.
And your Facebook or your social media?
You can find the magazine is always at Circus Mag, like on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. My personal social media is all by Bianca B spelled like the insect. I'm by Bianca B on everything. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Bianca, for having her.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get. Nicholle will still be here. If you purchase, don't hesitate to bring it back. She'll be here signing the art and giving hugs and as she always does, and pictures. Okay. Enjoy.
You recorded them more for you